This July, the UK was dry, which is exactly what I said in this video.
The UK was dry.
Because these days, if you don't tell the audience what's going on in the first 3 seconds, well then...
You're out!
So, with that in mind, I'm John from Balsam Bashing. This is a video about drought and things like that. And later on, I'm going to give you an update about Himalayan balsam that could be potentially explosive. So stay tuned. Balsam loves dampness, which is why it's so successful in the UK. But last July was the driest July in England and Wales since records began. The news is full of stories about the state of all the crops, the fact that half the country's on water restrictions, and the small but inconvenient truth that everywhere seems to be on fire. The government has called it an exceptionally serious situation. And I couldn't agree more. As we speak, the UK is about to enter its 5th heat wave of 2026, and this is causing lots of different problems for lots of reasons. In our last video, we looked at wildfires and learned that 99% of those in the UK are started by humans. Drought causes all sorts of issues, from everything looking brown, to food shortages, to apparently 15 confirmed dead fish incidents attributed to drought and dry weather since the start of 2006. Which is very sad because I presume it means more than 15 fish. Either way, really. Salad cropping ended 2 weeks early, winter animal feed is running low, and I forgot to water this tomato plant when the water butt was dry. The problems seem endless. Trust me, these dry football pitches are agony when you slide tackle on them, but it still looks pretty sick when you pull it off, so you know, worth it. So, it's been extremely dry, but I can tell what you're all thinking. What's happened to the Himalayan balsam? Well, let's see, shall we? This is the river near me. And it's got handy graffiti on the side, so you can sort of tell the water level over the years by guessing the age of the paint. But you don't have to guess, because I'm going to tell you. Where I'm standing is usually very wet, and I know that because I walk past it every day. So, surprise, surprise, right beside me is a clump of Himalayan balsam. Balsam seeds are really good at spreading down where there's water. That's why you always see them near rivers and streams. The last time the water here got above my head was in 2024. Thankfully, I was stood elsewhere at the time. And if you look along the banks, because of that, it's created a really interesting effect. This is some footage of the riverbanks this time last year. Dense balsam all the way up the side. And this is 2026. To my eye, that balsam hasn't gone as far up, and it looks like there's more wildflowers because of it. This one is my favourite. It's called purple loosestrife. It's native and it flowers for ages, providing food to loads of native pollinators. But this is all river stuff. How's the balsam getting on elsewhere? Here's a side-by-side comparison of the 3 areas of woods I filmed in January that I promised an update on. The first is a comfrey patch. Usually not much balsam, not much going on here right now. Good. This is the second patch, and this is my patch, the one that I balsam bash, and what can I say? No balsam this year. Last year, I think I managed to get rid of the last few stragglers, which I'm sure you can imagine is pretty emotional for me. Lastly, and this surprised me, this has been a big old patch of balsam for as long as I can remember. You can see that balsam is definitely still there, but it's not doing as well as I'd expected. There's definitely signs of organised balsam bashing going on here, and the drought is making it all dry. But I also happen to know that somewhere in these woods is a research trial into balsam killing rust fungus, which fortunately I already filmed a bit about last year that we didn't use. We're going to learn all about that in just a moment, but for now, we'll be back after this advert.
This programme is brought to you by Genuinely Beneficial Product. This week.
Water.
Genuinely beneficial product.
Last year, I met Alex and Silvia at Wheldrake Ings, which is a nature reserve in Yorkshire. They work for Yorkshire Wildlife Trust and told me all about rust fungus, a natural solution to combating Himalayan balsam that would require no machines and no herbicides. We were chatting in the blazing heat of 2025 during what turned out to be the UK's warmest summer since records began. Coming back to balsam, I'm interested in a piece of research that you're involved in. The rust fungus. Is it a trial, a study? Is that the right word for it at the moment?
It is a trial.
Yeah. Trial, yes.
It's a trial.
They have been studying for about 15 years. 15? But it's still on the trial stages. Obviously, as we're aware, Himalayan Balsam takes over the riverbanks and it is pretty difficult to manage it all. Yeah. So there have been studies and trying to tackle it with a natural method. And then the aim is to the fungus to thrive, infect the plant, prevent it from growing, flowering, and hopefully it would also overwinter and affect the new seedling plants the following year.
Yeah. Do you have any insight on how that works? How can it just target one plant? I can't get my head around that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not particularly sure the ins and outs of it. It's the organisation that sort of leads on this research is called CABI, so the Centre for Agriculture and Bioscience International.
Great.
And they have specialist scientists and researchers who go out and do this. So their job is to go over to Pakistan, go over to India, monitor and look for areas in these remote locations.
In the homeland of
in the native area of where balsam comes from. And again, they have colleagues out all around the country that can advise them on this. But from what they've told me, it's actually a bit of a long-winded trek to actually find balsam in its native range because it's so remote and it doesn't actually do that well. Then to find these natural ways, natural methods of controlling whatever invasive it is, and finding the fungus, and they found that was impacting balsam in its native range and inhibited its growth, and then thought, well, we'll trial that over here. And so that's why it's taken 15 years over this trial, because they've had to be able to prove that it's not going to impact other species. And again, I don't know the full ins and outs of how that works, but they've had to be able to prove that to natural England to then allow them to release it, because what we don't want to do is introduce something else that then takes over and becomes a real issue on loads of other plants as well. So,
as a matter of fact, Alex, I actually found this on YouTube, which is a photo journal by the guys at CABI from their journey in the Himalayas in India to find Himalayan balsam. And you weren't joking, mate, they had a nightmare trying to find it. If you're at all interested, definitely check out the link below. Not only is it an interesting study, but it's a really nice slice of old YouTube. Anyway, back to me in the field. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to jump up and go for a walk around and see what we see.
Yeah, that's great.
Lovely, let's go. I'll follow you this time. After you. You did a rust fungus trial over here?
Yes. So just in this area where the canes are. Very delicately done.
Of the two methods, I'm going to go with yours. Yeah. Alex, I think my long legs should help.
So we'll head over here to the area we did the release.
Okie doke. So, this is where you did a trial?
So we released the first rust in June, and then 4 weeks later in July, and then a final one at the end of August.
Okay.
Obviously, we have to be quite aware of the weather, because the rust cannot be released if it's below 10 degrees at night time, but it also cannot exceed 23 degrees during the day.
Right.
So you have to find the perfect conditions, which can be difficult.
Right, it's a bit picky then.
Yes, so it's difficult to find the right conditions. And there are two strains of Himalayan balsam. So you've got the Indian strain, and then you've got the Pakistani strain, and this is an Indian strain. So you have to make sure you have the right rust for the right strain.
Now that I never heard before. So this rust is
for the Indian strain of Himalayan balsam.
Is there any way that I'd be able to tell them apart?
Not to us, it's a DNA analysis kind of thing.
Yeah. Right.
So when we started with the rust, actually, we collected the seeds for CABI.
Yeah.
So we collected the seeds, we sent them over for them, and then they tested which strain it was.
And you were saying that this year it's hard to tell, were you saying it's hard to tell how effective the study is because we had a heat wave?
Yeah.
And you could see the balsam was really wilting. So when you're looking at this, are you thinking, great success, the rust has done it, or do you have to take in all the other factors?
I think that's it. You've got to take in the other factors. You know,
yes.
with anything like this, you know, you can't be 100% certain of what exactly has happened.
Yeah.
With the rust fungus still being a trial, we don't know exactly how it's going to react, which is why I want to be involved. I want to try and add to this research and try and better understand how it's going to affect the balsam and how it might be able to control balsam going forward. I think with a lot of biocontrols, they're never going to be perfect.
Sure.
They're always going to be an aid and another sort of tool in our arsenal to help control balsam, but as I sort of mentioned with the requirements that the rust likes, it's quite picky, so it can only be used in certain scenarios and certain situations, but we can use it to help us in the battle in the long run.
Are you optimistic about the trial at the moment? Looking at this, does it make you optimistic, or?
I think so, yeah. I think seeing that it's overwintered,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the first success to
Exactly, yeah.
overwinter. So
Great.
that's the first hurdle of many, it seems, with the with the biocontrols, is getting it to overwinter, because our climatic conditions is obviously quite a bit different to where it's native a lot of these species have come from. So yeah, finding the right species, that's a lot of the issues, or a lot of the requirements that they have to go through with trying to find these biocontrols, is trying to match it up to the right climatic conditions. It's going to be the same in the UK. But with global warming and everything else happening, it's a bit, you know, we're matching up with other places, but then moving out of others. It's an interesting time really to see, for particularly in the invasives world. We're kind of a bit worried and sometimes hopeful with the biocontrols at the same time. So,
well, we are aware with these projects that they take years.
Yeah.
It won't be. It
It's
won't
not a
work
short-term
over
solution.
one winter. It will take many years to
Yeah.
see maybe some wider results.
Yeah.
Well, we cross our fingers that our rust fungus friends will join the fight. And just so I've got it right though, the fungus is native to the Himalayas as well?
Yeah. So with the biocontrols, they all come from the native area where the invasive has come from.
Yeah.
So it's using these natural processes to, again, try and reduce the amount of time, resource and effort that people have to put in, you know, like balsam bashing, hopefully.
Hey look, and as you know, I hate balsam bashing,
Yeah.
so anything the fungus can do that I don't have to, we're all in favour of.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, thanks for your time, guys. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to leave you in the midst of your project here, and hopefully see you again.
Yeah, hope so.
We could do this again, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful. All right, take care.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Once again, thanks to Alex and Silvia. We love good news about balsam. Imagine if it just worked. All the details for Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, as ever, are in the description. And as normal, if you didn't like this, please unsubscribe, but make sure to leave an inflammatory comment on the way out. I'm sure the AI absolutely laps that up. Bye.
And the small but inconvenient truth that everything seems to be on fire.
Beautiful.